Does squatting hurt your back? Or maybe even stop squatting because last time you did it, you're so traumatized by the amount of back pain you had? I'm Dr. Clayton, and in this video, I'm going to be going over the most common mistakes I see my patients make while squatting. First mistake we're going to cover is where you initiate the movement from. Typically, I see one of two mistakes. First being either the lower back, or the second being your knees. You don't want to initiate the movement with either of those. If you initiate the movement with your lower back, you compress your lower back, you can't use your core in this position, and as you go down, you're just arching your back more and more, putting a ton of tension back there, eventually leading to pain. The second, initiate the movement with your knees. Once you maximize your knee range of motion, you can't go any lower, so then you're gonna let your chest dip, rounding your lower back, creating a ton of flexion in your lower back, which will eventually lead to pain as well. You want to initiate that movement with your hips. And you're gonna do that by slightly leaning forward, and as you lean forward, push your butt back, and as you feel like you can't lean forward anymore, you're gonna start to bend your knees. That's gonna allow you to sit into those hips using both your hips and your knees the right way, maximizing your squat and offloading that lower back. The second and most common mistake I see is people not utilizing their feet. When they don't utilize their feet, their knees come inwards, and then when they go to stand up, they start to use their lower back to lift, and it puts a ton of pressure on the lower back, causing the pain. By squeezing or engaging your foot muscles, your knees are going to track a lot better, your body's going to know where your center of gravity is, so you don't have to use your back as much, and then from here, when you're in the bottom of the squat, you can drive those feet through the ground, utilizing your legs, not your lower back, taking all that pressure off the back, relieving the pain. If you want to know how to engage your feet, or maybe even have flat feet, and you want to know how to utilize those foot muscles, check out these two videos. The third and final mistake we're going to cover is how you utilize your core while you're squatting. It is very important that you think of your core as a soda can. 360 degrees all the way around, your diaphragm is the top, your pelvic floor is the bottom. You need to breathe into that and create pressure. Your core strength comes from the pressure of your breath. That is what a weight belt is for. It cinches down, you're supposed to breathe into that belt and push out against it. That's what makes you feel stronger. If you just go to squat and you take a big deep breath in and you go into your chest, your core is not pressurized, you're gonna use your back. It looks like this. I see this too often. People go to squat, they get all set up, they take a deep breath in before they drop into their squat, and it looks like this, right? You can't use your core that way. You have to keep your ribs down, breathe into that core, and sit back into those hips, engage those feet, drive through your feet, and stand up. Make sure you pressurize your core when you go to squat. Just to recap and show you how I set up my squat, first thing I do is engage my feet. I make sure my feet or muscles are nice and engaged. Then I breathe into my core, I pressurize the system, and then I sit into my hips. From there, once I get to the bottom, I make sure I drive through my feet. If you do those simple tips, I guarantee you, you'll have dramatically less lower back pain. You'll feel a lot stronger in your squat. If you have questions on your squat pattern, maybe even your stance, I've already made a video on that. Check that out. But if you have any questions for me, drop them down below. I'd love to help you. Keep moving and enjoy the rest of your day.